don't see any reason why our guest keeps on invoking his right against self-incrimination when Deputy Speaker J.J. Suarez was not asking him anything incriminating. He was just merely reading a portion of his affidavit. So I don't like, Mr. Chair, that this committee, that our resource person may impress upon the public that we are here to corner him and to incriminate him. Please, tigilan mo yan. Hindi naman, Mr. Chair, it's not right to invoking self-incrimination when in fact DSJJ is not asking you any questions but merely reading his affidavit. Baka naman ng message na pinapakita, Mr. Chairman, sa publiko, inaanggulo natin siya dito. I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, but I have to manifest this. I think his invitation to the Senate was discussed about EJK and illegal drugs, and nowhere in his affidavit did he mention anything about illegal drugs and EJK. He did not share any inputs or his knowledge on illegal drugs. His participation in that Senate inquiry was merely to besmirch the reputation of some of the chairmen here, and as a result, attempting to degrade the integrity of the Quadcom. So please, I hate to admonish men in uniform. I have the highest respect for our policemen. But please, Colonel Grijaldo, stop invoking your right against self-incrimination. Nobody's asking you any incriminating questions here.
Mr. Chair. And Mr. Chairman, along the line of Congressman Adjong, I don't think it's incriminating because number one, sinumpang salaysay niya po ito eh. Pirmado niya po ito eh. So how can he incriminate himself when he actually signed this affidavit? And this is a public document, Mr. Chair. So if our resource person is invoking this right to self-incrimination, I think that is out of order.
Okay. I'd like to remind the resource person that the questions being asked of you are the statements you made in your affidavit. And the questions that DSJJ is asking is whether you confirm those statements that you stipulated in your affidavit. Dahil affidavit, pinirmahan mo yun, there's nothing incriminating no, dun sa tanong ni Congressman J.J. Suarez. So please, answer appropriately the questions being asked by the members. Congressman Acop?
Mr. Chair, may we ask the resource person the basis why he is invoking his right against self-incrimination?
Yeah, please answer. What is the basis of you invoking the right against self-incrimination?
Police colonel ka, investigador ka dati. You know the basic rudiments of investigation. Alam mo dapat kung kailan i-invoke yung right against self-incrimination. Di po ba? Kasi nagko-conduct ka ng investigation eh. Now, may I know your legal basis why you are invoking your right against self-incrimination? Mr. Chair, if he cannot provide any basis, I think I agree with the Honorable Adjong that he should not invoke that right. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. I share the sentiment of Congressman Acop. If indeed the resource person cannot explain to this committee why he is invoking his right against self-incriminations in reply or in response to the questions raised by DSJJ Suarez, then I would agree that the gentleman is out of order, and perhaps do you have a lawyer with you, Colonel Grijaldo? Nandito, may abogado ka ba? Would you like?
Wala po, Your Honor.
Do you want us to provide you a lawyer?
No, Your Honor.
Because your lawyer or lawyers that we can provide you will assist you on telling you what your rights are in this committee hearing. So, gusto mo ba mag-provide kami ng abogado?
No, Your Honor.
So, you will answer and reply to the questions of the members. Now, DSJJ?
Yes, Mr. Chair, maybe another opportunity we can provide to the resource person. Colonel Grijaldo, kung kayo po ay hindi komportable, dahil nga maraming nanonood at nasa publiko po ang hearing na ito, would you want or would you request for an executive session so that you can divulge the details and the truthfulness to the affidavit that you executed in the Senate hearing?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so therefore we can proceed, Mr. Chair.
Please proceed.
So, Colonel Grijaldo, matanong ko lang po, ano po ang nag-udyok sa'yo para i-execute tong affidavit na ito?
Just I have said, Your Honor, during my opening statement in the Senate, it was Tuesday. We have a hearing here on Tuesday, and we ended up on the Wednesday on the event of the Typhoon Christine. And as I have said, I go back to my home, and dinibdib ko po yung nangyari sa akin, Your Honor. And I never told this to my wife that time for 2 days. Until such time on the Friday, I was informed by the PIHAW that I'll be attending a Senate hearing. So, naisabi ko dun sa asawa ko, Your Honor. And nag-a-argue pa kami kasi ayaw niya. Ako kasi gusto ko na may sabi. And sabi ko, we have to go on a Sunday Mass, and we need wisdom for this para mabigyan din tayo ng lakas ng loob para ma-resolve natin sa tayo kasi tayo nag-aaway. Nagkakaproblema. Hindi na rin kami nag-aano nun eh. So on the Sunday, it was on the gospel. Sabi ko, pakinggan natin kung ano man yung masabi ng gospel sa atin that day. And it was a great enlightenment and a wisdom na binigay sa akin, Your Honor. The gospel said that it's not all about the crown, but it is about the cross. It is not about the honor, but it's about the sacrifice. It's not being the first, but being the last. It's not being the great, but being the servant. Sabi ko sa asawa ko, bakit naibigay sa atin to? We have to, and to sum up that, Your Honor, ang sinabi nung pare, sabi niya, it's not about the experience. Because yung experience kasi natin sa buhay, it may be good or bad. But it's all about the lesson learned that time, Your Honor. So I have that courage, and even my wife submitted to my decision. And on the next day, pumunta na po ako yun. Nandun po yun, nag-narrate, ginawa ko po yun, sinulat ko po yun. And it was on that mass that time that it is a Sunday for the PDLs. It was a Sunday for PDLs. Sabi ng pare, we have to give dun sa mga brothers natin na nakukulong. Hindi ko nga akalain na I would be be the one also to experience that nung sinabi ng pare. So, that's all, Your Honor. That is all that happened, Your Honor.
Well, you know, oftentimes we need experiences to encourage us and to push us to search for the truth. So I hope this hearing is one of those experiences for you, Colonel Grijaldo. Dahil ang layunin lang naman po natin dito ay hanapin, gaano man kahirap, ang katotohanan. Yun lang naman po ang hangarin natin. Wala nang iba. At kaya nga po yung dalawa po nating kinatawan na binanggit mo sa affidavit mo ay pansamantalang tumayo at umalis bilang chairman just to show that we are fair in handling this very sensitive issue. Because you made serious accusations in your affidavit, Colonel Grijaldo. And if indeed enlightenment has happened to you when you executed this affidavit, and you mentioned that you stand by your affidavit, so let's test whether or not it is the truth, Colonel Grijaldo.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay,
As I have said, I will stand by. I am humbled by my experience, Your Honor.
I'm
with
sure
this,
you're
Your Honor,
but Mr. Colonel Grijaldo,
I will stand by with my statement.
You have to understand
under
one thing.
The Senate, Your
You have
Honor.
to understand
and I would
one
like
thing
to
lang po.
invoke my
One
right
thing lang po.
to self-incrimination, Your Honor.
But you have to understand one thing, Colonel Grijaldo. Okay lang po yun kung para sa'yo. Ang problema ho, ang dami mong dinamay eh. Kung para sa'yo lang yun, hindi sana natin gagawing issue to eh. Ngunit ang idinamay mo dito ay mga taong walang kinalaman o mga inosente. Eh paano naman po sila? Paano naman po yung mga karapatan nila? Paano naman po yung boses nila? Paano naman yung katotohanan nila? Hindi pa po natin sila pahahalagahan? Dahil panghahawakan lang natin yung sinabi mong enlightenment mo? But they have their own rights too, Colonel Grijaldo. So Colonel Grijaldo, siguro wag na tayong paligoy-ligoy pa. With the permission of Mr. Chairman, Colonel Grijaldo, you made some serious accusations here. In fact, so serious that it was even carried by our media news for almost a week, 2 weeks. And because of your accusations, you've tarnished the very reputation and integrity of the committee and the House of Representatives. Things that I will not allow dahil ito pong posisyon na inuupuan namin, ay ito po ay posisyon ng tiwala na ipinagkaloob sa amin ng taong nagtitiwala sa amin. At kailanman hindi ako papayag na may mga tao na magdudungis at magtatapon ng kasinungalingan para sirain ang integridad ng trabaho ng House of Representatives at syempre ng komitibang ito. So Colonel Grijaldo, sinabi mo po dito sa inyong sinumpang salaysay that you were persuaded
Your Honor,
and you said ikaw naman, Colonel, ganito lang yan, alangan namang walang insidente o mangyayari sa panahon na yon. I answered that I served as COP, Chief of Police in Mandaluyong during COVID-19 pandemic, and there were less crimes committed and we did not receive any reward from anyone. I added that we only receive funds as additional MOOE support fund for the Peace and Order Fund of the LGU. But dito po sa earlier part, sinabi mo that you were persuaded. Is this true, Colonel Grijaldo?
Your Honor, I will stand by my statement in the Senate under oath, Your Honor, and I would like to invoke my right for self-incrimination, Your Honor.
That is out of order. Let it be of record that the statement made by this resource person is out of order. Please continue, Congressman Suarez.
Number 17, sinabi nyo dito, I then respectfully told Congressman Dan Fernandez that anyone can debunk my statement if I confirm the testimony of Colonel Garma about DDS in 1999. Since I was not a member of the PNP at that time and I have no knowledge as to the reward system, additionally, I said that the work of policemen are noble that requires great sacrifice even without reward or award. It is our moral obligation and a call of duty to serve our country and our people. If I may continue, Colonel Grijaldo. At sinabi mo, Congressman Dan asked me, Colonel Garma, anong masabi mo sa kanya tungkol kay Barayuga? I politely told him I cannot comment on the case when I respectfully answered him, Sir, mahirap yan. Kasama kami sa nag-iimbestiga at hindi ko alam kung anong kinalaman niya at may investigasyon din kami. Baka ma-incriminate ako, sir. Tama po ba ito, Colonel Grijaldo?
Your Honor,
Yes or no lang po, ha?
I will stand by my statement in the Senate under oath, Your Honor, and I would like to invoke
Mr.
my
Chair,
right
again.
for self-incrimination,
Mr. Chair.
Your Honor.
Again, the resource person is out of order,
Mr.
and
Chair.
let it be of record that he is continuously disrespecting this committee by refusing to answer appropriately to the questions propounded by the member. Alam mo, Colonel, if I may, DSJJ, binibigyan ka namin ng pagkakataon dito eh. Noong nasa Senado ka, ang tapang-tapang mo eh. Bakit dito ay mo magtapang ka rito? Ipakita mo yung the same candor, the same tapang na pinakita mo doon. Di ba? Bakit hindi mo gawin yan dito ngayon? Nagtatago ka sa likod ng right against self-incrimination eh. Tinatanong sa'yo, relevant question. Matapang ka lang doon sa Senado kasi may kakampi ka. Dito ka magpakita ng tapang mo. Hindi yung nandoon ka lang. Alam mo, ang mahirap kasi sa'yo, gusto lang nating malaman ang katotohanan sa likod nito. Ang dami mo ng ginawa eh. Dinamay mo pa yung mga kasama na, hindi dahil sa kasama namin sila, kundi hindi tama ang nangyari at ginawa mo. You are trying to besmirch the reputation of this committee. Itong committee ito, hindi ito gawa-gawa lamang. Ito'y pinapayagan ng ating saligang batas. Ito'y pinapayagan at pinayagan ng 300 mahigit na membro ng Kongreso na kung saan ay merong mandato ng taong bayan. Kaya wag mong pastusin ito. Yung tapang mo, nawawala eh. Tawagin mo yung kakampi mo. Ang hirap, alam mo, Colonel, nag-imbento ka ng kwento. And then you speak about honor. And then you speak about the gospel of that was given to you by a priest, talking about honor, and which yun, alam mo ba kung bakit mayroong honor? Pag hindi ka sinungaling, may honor ka. As simple as that. You're a police officer and you should have kasi yun ang dito eh. Anyway, DSJJ, you can continue.
I totally understand the frustration of our chairman. In fact, it is the same place where I'm extracting my frustration from. No? Kasi nung Senate hearing, napanood ko yung binanggit mo, Colonel Grijaldo, At ako naman, araw-araw, hindi naman araw-araw, na tuwing magkakaroon ng Quadcom hearing, nandito ako. I make it a point I even come early. So, Colonel Grijaldo, you mentioned in your affidavit and even in the Senate hearing that you were coerced. Coerced by certain members of this committee. Totoo ba yun? Oo, hindi.
Your Honor, I would like to invoke
Oh,
my rights.
hindi.
for
It's a simple
self-incrimination,
yes or
Your Honor.
no.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes or no? Yes or no? Yun lang po yun. Sabi mo, truth, di ba?
Your Honor,
Sabi
I would
mo,
like to invoke my
enlightenment,
right
di ba?
to self-incrimination, Your
Diba
Honor.
sinabi mo, gospel truth, di ba? When you talk of God, there's only right and wrong. There's nothing in between. You want to talk about honor, Colonel Grijaldo? Kung gusto mo, Colonel Grijaldo, mag-usap tayo tungkol sa integridad ng isang tao, eh ang pagsabi ng katotohanan is the simplest way to show honor. Na hindi ka nagtatago at hindi ka nagsisinungaling. Kasi we're talking about serious issues here, Colonel Grijaldo. Isipin mo, mga EJK victims ang nandito. Libo-libong taong namatay nung panahon ng nakaraang administrasyon. Buhay ng Pilipino ang pinag-uusapan natin dito. So, Colonel Grijaldo, babalikan ko lang. Totoo ba? O hindi? Na merong pumilit sa iyo na magsalita na hindi naaayon sa katotohanan dito sa Quadcom?
Your Honor, I would like to invoke my right for self-incrimination, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, point of order.
What is the point of order, Congressman Ako?
The resource person has not answered my question a while ago, and he's still invoking his right against self-incrimination, which is improper. Even Supreme Court decisions say so. You're just telling me your ignorance of the law. You cannot invoke your right against self-incrimination. Tell me if you have a criminal case against you regarding this issue. Galing ako sa serbisyo, iho, pero nakakahiya ka. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Pag ako na magtatanong,
Thank you.
sasagot ka. Dahil isasite kita in contempt again.
Thank you, Congressman
Sir Chair.
Ako.
Sir Chair, just
I'm
a quick
surprised why he became an officer. Yes,
just want to...
Are you done, DSJJ?
Just a last point lang, Mr. Chair, kay Colonel Grijaldo. Before Congressman Adjong, I know naman may good friend is very generous with his time. Colonel Grijaldo, sa maraming pagkakataon na inimbitahan ka ng Quadcom, pagkatapos mo magsalita sa Senate, hindi ka nagpakita. At ang dinadahilan mo ay meron kang left shoulder injury. Tama po ba yun?
Yes, Your Honor.
Was that incriminating, Colonel Grijaldo? Was that answer to your shoulder incriminating? Hindi naman, di ba? Ang dinadahilan nyo, kaya hindi kayo nakakadalo, dahil maya't maya po kayo ipinapasok sa Pasig Hospital dahil nag-undergo po kayo ng therapy sa inyong kaliwang balikat. Tama po ba yon, Colonel Grijaldo?
I have my left shoulder operation, Your Honor.
You have your...
Left shoulder operation, Your Honor.
So inopera din po kayo?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Tapos, Colonel Grijaldo, Ang nakakapagtaka po, yung ilan sa mga pinadala nyo pong mga dahilan kung bakit hindi po kayo makakadalo ay nanggaling sa isang klinika na matatagpuan sa isang mall. Bakit hindi po orthopedic doctor ang nag-issue ng medical certificate ninyo kundi isang clinic na matatagpuan sa isang mall?
The doctor who operated me, Your Honor, is a professional, Your Honor.
I'm not asking you whether or not your doctor is a professional. I hope he's a professional.
Yes, Your Honor.
Because if he wasn't a professional, then may God be with you because he conducted surgery on you.
Yes, Your Honor.
So thank God he's a professional. But
Yes,
I'm
Your
not
Honor.
asking the qualifications of your surgeon. I'm asking kung sa sobrang laki ng dinadala mong problema sa inyong kaliwang balikat at kinailangan po itong operahan, bakit isang klinika sa isang mall ang nag-issue ng medical certificate mo at hindi isang orthopedic surgeon?
That is not a clinic, Your Honor. It is a hospital, Pasig Hospital, that responsible in giving the medical certificate, Your Honor.
I suggest, Colonel Grijaldo, you refresh your memory. Kasi yung isa sa mga una mong pinadala sa amin ay nung amin pong sinearch yung address, mall po ang location niya. So again, Colonel Grijaldo, I'm asking you, it's not too hard. Sasabi lang po kayo ng katotohanan. Kayo po ba nung panahon yun ay umiiwas dito dahil nakapagsalita kayo sa Senado? Colonel Grijaldo?
No, Your Honor. It is a necessary,
Kasi kung
Your Honor, to have my operation, Your Honor.
Kasi kung hindi
And
po
I
kayo...
am suffering a pain on that time, Your Honor.
Oh.
Because this happened during my cadetship, Your Honor. And during that time, there were no operation being conducted na nangyari at kumikirot po talaga to, Your Honor. And I have no reason to escape or to not going to this honorable Quadcom committee, Your Honor, because I was able to attend 4 Quadcom hearing, Your Honor, and I was already giving my statement, Your Honor.
Opo. Yes, you were attending. In fact, I would see you in the back. Kaya nga nagulat ako nung nakapagsalita ka ng mga hindi makatarungang mga statements at nakapagbitaw ka sa Senado nung nagkaroon ng hearing doon. Nagulat na lang po ako pagkatapos niyo po magsalita doon, bigla na lang po naging unavailable na kayo. Bigla na lang sumakit ang balikat ninyo. At bigla na lang kinailangan na maoperahan ang balikat ninyo.
If may, Your Honor, it will incur considerable amount, Your Honor, for the payment of the operation, and I'm still contemplating to find money for that operation, Your Honor. And I was been confined on that hospital. The option was given was to relieve the pain, was only to have therapy. And I asked the doctor for that period na hindi pa ako maka-attend na sabi ko, i-therapy lang muna, Doc. Then, kung makapag-produce na ako ng considerable amount for the payment of the operation,
alam mo, Colonel Grijaldo,
I will submit for an operation, Your Honor.
Kayo po ay isang police officer. Kung nandito lang sana si Congressman P.M. Vargas, sasabihin niya po sa iyo, papakita niya yung 2 tornilyo niya sa balikat niya. At sinabi niya, pagkatapos po ng operahan siya at lagyan ng tornilyo sa balikat, kinabukasan nagtrabaho na po siya. Kaya yung sinasabi po ninyong konting dislocation at konting operation at naging dahilan para hindi po mag-attend sa mga Quadcom hearings, medyo nakakapagtaka po yun. So anyway, Mr. Chair, I would give my time and to the other interpellators. I would just like, Mr. Chair, to request na sana matapos na po natin itong topic ni Grijaldo and the two Kongs so that we can move forward with the other EJK issues. Because it's something that we need to resolve immediately so that we can benefit from the wisdom of Congressman Benny Abante as chairman and to whatever Congressman Dan Fernandez can contribute to Quadcom, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Congressman Suarez. The next to interpolate is Congressman Adyong. You have 10 minutes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. It will not take me 10 minutes to ask my question. In fact, this is a follow-up immediately after the question of Congressman Lord Dansuan. Just to zero in on the issue of why it took for the district police to create the Special Investigation Task Force. Kasi doon po yung nag-intriga sa akin. Tama po ba, I will not discuss anything about your affidavit, Colonel. Just want to ask you straight questions and I hope you will not invoke your right against self-incrimination. Now, is it correct that when the Barayuga murder happened, that was during your time as the chief of the Mandaluyong City Police?
Yes, Your Honor.
And immediately after, when the murder took place on the same day, you all immediately conducted an investigation. Is it correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And sino yung head ng investigative team na ito? Kasi parang hindi ho kayo, sabi niyo po sa committee ito ay hindi kayo yung directly na nag-imbestiga, but you rather form a team and you had assigned or delegated someone in your office or in your police district to handle the investigation. Tama po ba? Sino yun?
No, Your Honor. It is the duty investigation because we are on a duty basis, Your Honor. Every day there is a duty investigator to be available in any incident happen to respond for that.
So makatuwid, you're in the office, you ordered, and there's a duty investigation, meaning sila yung nag-respond doon sa crime scene, sila yung nag-collect ng mga kung ano man yung mga ebidensya na makokolekta nila. You mentioned also about CCTV at sila yung gumawa ng report na yon at binigay sa iyo. Tama po ba?
Yes, Your Honor. It was the duty SDO, Your Honor, to make a report to the district, Your Honor, because we are on a hierarchy, Your Honor.
No. I'm asking you, Colonel, from the very start, gusto ko lang maintindihan yung regular process of investigation. So nangyari itong krimen, pak, pinatay. Nakita natin yung video,
yes,
di ba? May bumarel, may mga assailant unidentified, di ba? So pumunta doon yung mga tao mo, sila yung nagkolekta, I don't know, pumunta ba ang Soko, nagkolekta sila ng mga ebidensya, and then yung kinakolekt nila, ni-report nila, sinubmit nila sa'yo. Tama ba yung aking pagkakaintindi yung proseso?
The spot report, Your Honor, is given to the duty SDO, Your Honor.
Okay, so the spot report, hindi pa tapos yan, hindi pa conclusive, hindi ba?
Only relevant information, the 5W and 1H, Your Honor.
Oo. And
then immediately, it will be sent through to the operation of the district
Not
unit.
Directly to you?
No, Your Honor.
Why?
Because we have some delegated officer that time, Your Honor, responsible to send the report, Your Honor.
So in terms of hierarchy, Mr. Chair, just want to be clarified. In terms of hierarchy, you're the chief of Mandaluyong City Police.
Yes, Your Honor.
Before it reaches a much higher level, it has to go pass through your office, hindi ba?
Minsan kasi, Your Honor, pagka chief of police ka, Your Honor, you have to supervise only. There is a duty SDO and a duty investigator. So sila yung nag-aano po ng report, Your Honor, and they just inform me about the incident. But at that time, Your Honor, I was there also in the incident. So just to read on the report being submitted to the district level.
So do you mean to say that all of the murder cases that are being investigated ay nagka-create sila ng Special Investigation Task Force na diretso sila sa district na hindi na sila pupunta sa iyo? Is that what you're telling us?
Hindi naman lahat ng murder cases, Your Honor, nagkakaroon ng SITG.
What made the Barayuga case
Because
did you request for the creation of special investigative task force? Because I don't medyo nahihirapan kong intindihin kasi kayo po yung police chief, hindi ho ba? So everything that happens in your territory or area of jurisdiction, it must pass through to you before it reaches a much higher level.
Yes,
Tama
Your
po.
Honor.
Is that
Yes, Your Honor.
Tama po yung aking
Yes, Your
pagkakaintindi. No. Itong Barayuga murder case, supposedly, ang frontline, of course, I give it to you, ang pupunta talaga dyan ay yung mga unang magre-responde, mag-iimbestiga, di ba? Hindi naman necessarily ang police mismo, chief of police, kasi sa laki ng area of jurisdiction mo, hindi naman lahat ng barangay dyan o kung saan mismo nangyari ang murder, halimbawa, yung crime of sin, ay pupuntahan mo, tama po yun, hindi naman hukaya yun.
Yes,
That's why
Your
you have to delegate.
Yes.
Now, but before it reaches the level of, say, for example, district office, it must pass through to you. Di
Yes,
ba?
Your Honor. Yes,
Tama.
Your Honor.
So yun ang gusto ko maintindihan. Is this a regular occurrence? Like every murder case, meron ay nagka-create kayo ng special investigation task force?
May determination, Your Honor.
Okay, what are the determination? What made
involving-
this Barayuga case so unique in a sense that it has to create a special investigation task force? Because, Mr. Chairman, to me, the impression is that parang it was taken from you, the investigation. So what made the Barayuga murder case a special case for the district level to take jurisdiction over the investigation of this case?
On our PNP manual, Your Honor, there is a qualification in order for a case to be or subjected to SITG. That time, it is a government official and a high profile yung naging victim ng crime.
Is it also part of the reason why the much higher hierarchy or office to take over doon sa mga cases of investigation when there's also say for example an allegation or anything na remiss o na overlook na hindi nila mabigyan or hindi i-allow or hindi i-continue ang isang mas mababang opisina kasi something about the investigation may be remiss. That's why a much superior or much higher office needs to take over. Di ba isa yun sa mga requirement o criteria na minimension mo?
Yung nangyari po, Your Honor, is kami lang sana gagawa, dapat gumawa nung investigation, but pinalaki natin pinabroad natin yung mga magiging involved dun sa paggandak na investigation, kaya nagkaroon tayo na SITG. Hindi rin inalisan kami ng function dun sa We also a member of the SITG, Your Honor.
So what
dinagdagan lang yung composition para mapabilis po yung pagkandak ng investigation, kasama na yung CIDG, para magkaroon ng consolidated effort na ma-resolve po yung kaso, Your Honor.
So what was your initial investigation, your report, before the Special Investigation Task Force was created? Did you have?
We submitted the investigation report that we have, initial investigation report and the progress report that we have to the district level, Your Honor. To the D7 or the District Investigation Detection Management Unit. Kasi sila na yung nagko-collate po ng lahat ng report coming from those members of the SITG. Kunyari, nakakuha sila ng report dun sa SOCO, isa-submit din ng SOCO yung report dun sa investigation, co-collate, then magka-come up ng nagmi-meeting ho yan, Your Honor.
Yeah,
every time
okay.
there will be a meeting. So, kung ano yung ng member, pag nung chairman ng SITG, he'll just, the chief of police, Colonel Geraldo, you conduct to follow up on this matter. CIDG, you follow up on this. Then, every week, we have this meeting for us to sum up with to analyze on or to assess on the reports that being gathered by different units on that time, Your Honor.
So, your initial investigation and your report, yung progress report, so I presume when you use the term progress, ibig sabihin, it's an evolving investigation, hindi ba? Your initial report, you submitted to the SITF, TG, I'm sorry. Was there any portion of your initial report that was changed?
No, Your Honor. It is approved initially by the IOC and the chief investigation at to my level. Then isasubmit namin yung report na nila na gather nila. Then it will be received properly by the IDM. Kung ano yung sinubmit, in toto po yun, Your Honor. Kung ano yung content ng yun din ang report na nandun sa kanila, Your Honor.
So the succeeding investigation as a follow-up complemented your initial report. Yun ba ang gusto niyong sabihin sa komite? That nothing was changed? Nothing was even improved on?
Hindi ho tayo immediately, Your Honor, na magkukulod kasi nga we could not file a case unless it is airtight,
No,
Your
before
Honor.
tayo mag-file, what I'm asking you is that your initial report that you have arrived at as a product and a result of your immediate investigation of the murder in the murder in the scene of the crime,
Yes, Your Honor.
was there any portion of there that was improved or changed?
Hindi ho kami hindi namin binabago yung
No. I'm asking about kasi progress siya, di ba? So it could be mayroon bang na-amend? Okay, I'll use the word na lang na-amend or na-improve. Was there any portion of your report, initial report, that was probably changed because of a new evidence that corroborated this kind of angle, yung angling, ganito? Meron bang sa report ninyo na mas na-improve o na-amend ng Special Investigation Task Force?
It is the head of the SITG, Your Honor, to
No, I know.
improve.
I'm just asking you, yes or no. Was there? Na may nakita kayong portion na mas na-change yung tono or yung manner by which you were arrived a certain hindi naman conclusion kasi progress siya, pero kumbaga yung assessment ninyo before na nung nag-take over ang SITG, then kulang pa ito, then we will improve on this. Was there any portion of your initial report that was changed or amended?
On the station level, Your Honor.
Kasi
Hindi-
progressive sabi mo, di ba? So it has to evolve, hindi ho ba? And for some portion, it has to change one way or the other kasi progressive report ito eh. It continues on. Was there any portion of your initial report that was changed or amended?
No, Your Honor, the term we're using, Your Honor, is the progress report in terms of the continuing investigation being conducted. Like, shall we say, on the progress report, we send personnel to gather the CCTV. Then we made that report as progress report. But it's not conclusive yet, Your Honor, unless otherwise it will be collated from different members of the SITG, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to know how long did the Special Investigation Task Force took effect?
It took effect immediately.
How long the duration of the investigation?
To have a resolution of the SITG, it needs 6 months, Your Honor. Then if it is not been resolved, it will be turned over to the CIDG as a cold case, Your Honor.
So 6 months itong ginawa, yung effectivity ng Special Investigation Task Force.
Yes, Your Honor. It was terminated
And
after
how
6
long
months,
did
Your
you
Honor.
how long did you conduct the investigation from your level before the creation of the Special Investigation Task Force?
I think it takes 3 months on our station level, Your Honor. But it is continuing, Your Honor, because there is a IOC.
No. How long was your initial investigation operated from your level?
Until such time, Your Honor, na
How long?
Is
Don't
6
give me
months.
abstract answer. How long?
Your Honor, I'm not the IOC. I mean,
No, how long did, kasi di ba, may initial investigation kayong ginawa before nag-special task, before nag-expand, di ba? Kasi naging task force na eh. Sabi mo, pumasok ng iba-ibang agency. How long did you first took jurisdiction of the investigation prior to the expansion of the investigative body? How long?
Your Honor, hindi naman kami tinanggal dun sa pagkandak na
I
investigation.
know, hindi kayo nga tinanggal.
But it was
Yung kayo pa, yung wala pang other agencies na nag-investigate, how long? Kayo nag-imbestiga?
continuous yung investigation namin, Your Honor.
Yes, before, nung wala pa yung mga agencies, before naging Special Investigation Task Force, kanina nagkaintindihan tayo, bago naging Special Investigation Task Force, may criteria yan. Hindi yan typical. Sabi mo, tinanong kita, is this a regular occurrence under police protocol investigation? Sabi mo, hindi naman, kasi may mga, criteria yan for it
Yes,
to
sir.
become a special investigation. Okay, I give you that. So pag special, may mga other agencies papasok din para mag-expand yung membership at saka para mas comprehensive yung investigative efforts ninyo. Tama ho ba? So
Yes, Your
before ho naging special yan, syempre, meron pang initial na stage. Yun yung office ninyo. Bago ho pumasok yung ibang agencies, ilang buwan po kayo, ilang weeks, o ilang taon kayo nag-imbestiga? Yun ang gusto kong malaman.
Your Honor, that time, it happens July 30. And on the next day, there was already a SITG on the July 31. May order po kaagad na...
Meron ng
magkaroon ng
order
SITG.
kaagad?
Yes, Your Honor.
Na kailangan mag-expand.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, sige. Mr. Chair, gusto kong malaman, Mr. Chair, I'd like to ask our... so meron pong report nitong SITG report on the Barayuga murder case.
Yes, Your Honor. We have a spot report, Your Honor.
No, yung final. Progress report pa ba
There is
ito?
a resolution by the SITG turnover to the CIDG, Your Honor.
Okay. May we ask, Mr. Chair, may I confirm for our Secretariat if we do have that document, that report?
Comsec?
Yes, sir. We have a SITG report.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chair. On that note, Mr. Chair, I yield back my time, and again, perhaps I would ask further questions again also on this matter, para lang po mas mapabilis yung case ni nung Barayo. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congressman Adyong. The next to interpellate is Congresswoman Franz Castro.
Mr. Chair, wala pa akong tanong kay Colonel Grijaldo sa other resource
Yes,
person po.
they are all resource persons under the
Okay,
topic
so-
of extrajudicial killing. So
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair.
we can still go back to Colonel Grijaldo later if you wish.
Mr. Chair, may tanong po ako kay Dr. Raquel Fortun related po doon sa mga several drug-related and activist-related EJK. So, Mr. Chair, Dr. Raquel Fortun, have you conducted autopsies to several drug-related and activist-related?
Drug-related, war on drugs?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. I had the
Tsaka-
opportunity to actually perform autopsies on around 20 cases.
Drug-related?
Drug-related, and then...
Activist-related?
Activist-related, yes, several.
Okay. What is the standard or regular procedure to be followed in conducting an autopsy?
In an ideal situation, it is defined which deaths have to undergo what we call a forensic autopsy. And definitely in the cases we're talking about, they're violent deaths. They have to be investigated. And that means the body at the scene, as it is discovered, has to be also preserved in terms of physical evidence. At the scene, where the body is located, how it is positioned, so much detail has to be noted. And then the body has to be carefully removed from the scene for a more detailed examination. And this is where the autopsy comes in. And when we do an autopsy, a forensic one, there is a very detailed external examination. There's a lot of documentation. We expect our findings to be questioned. There must be no issue regarding who is this person, so we address identity. Also, cause and manner of death, but this is better assessed when we next do internal examination. It really depends on the case. If you have a shooting victim, I would typically ask for x-rays, if only to make sure that there are bullets there or not.
Okay.
So it depends on the case.
So pag sinabi po nating forensic autopsy, no, very detailed autopsy, tama po ba?
Yes, ma'am.
In terms of manner of death and cause of death, etc.
The word forensic there means you have legal questions to address.
Okay.
And typically, you have to answer that there's no question, this is the person you are, the person is properly identified.
Okay.
What killed him? How did he die?
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Fortun. So, did you conduct an autopsy on Ana Maris Chay Evangelista and her husband, and also her husband Ariel Evangelista and Manny Asuncion? Nag-autopsy po ba kayo?
Yes, ma'am. I did.
So, these are victims of activist-related AJK known as Bloody Sunday Massacre. So, for the records, what are your findings po dito sa mga autopsy nitong mag-asawa at saka kay Manny Asuncion?
Well, for the record, these individuals were part of what was called in media as the Bloody Sunday, because on this particular day there were 9 individuals killed, and I was able to actually examine all 9.
Mm-hmm.
They were brought to me in the UP College of Medicine morgue, and just to summarize, the cases were examined from March 9 to March 13.
Ito lang po, Dr. Fortun, sa mag-asawang Evangelista po, tsaka kay Manny Asuncion. Ano po yung findings ninyo?
I have already released the report, and if the committee or the Quadcom is interested or does not have a copy yet, I can provide. Because the details are here, I will have to... like for instance, starting with Ana Marie Evangelista, 2107. In the autopsy report I issued, she sustained several gunshot wounds to the trunk, particularly in the chest area, 2. 1 in the abdomen, and there were internal injuries. This is the most severe. She also sustained through and through or perforating gunshot wounds of the upper extremity in the right hand and the left forearm. And also she had what I called projectile injuries, or small fragments, foreign bodies entered the lower extremities as well, and some other parts of the body. Now, this is best correlated with the scene. What are these fragments? Are they from concrete, bullets? I wouldn't know because I had no access to scene findings, just the body.
So, dun po ba sa autopsy, Dr. Fortun, nakikita natin yung, siyempre alam natin, yung mga sinasabi niyo po na mga details, like for example, kay at saka kay do sa asawa niya po ay gunshot wounds. Ito, di ba? Mga gunshot wounds po yung mga nakita natin. So, nadidetermine dyan kung ano yung trajectory noong baril na or yung bala na tumama doon sa isang body. So, malalaman natin kung malapit, binaril, or malayong binaril. Tama po ba?
When we say trajectory, this is the direction of the bullet as it entered the body.
Apo.
And this is actually descriptive.
Okay.
You're referring to a body standing upright, facing forward, palms forward. So it does not actually tell you how the individual was shot. Just by looking at the body, you have to address everything, like the scene findings, bullets, casings, blood spatter, totality of evidence. When you're asking about how far or how near the shot was fired, this is what we refer to as the muzzle to skin distance. And this is best assessed by looking at the entrance wound, because sometimes there are marks there like smudging or soot, stippling, and so on. But again, in these cases, I had a lot of limitations. Like, for instance, they were all embalmed. And the embalmer would introduce changes, like the injuries, like the entrance wound would be sutured. And that would damage the features there. Another limitation is, these cases, I did not have access to all their clothes. Clothing should be part of the autopsy. And only some of them had their clothes on them. I think the spouses, Evangelista, Ana, and Mr. Evangelista had their clothes, but the others I did not. So what I'm saying is you have to make use of a lot of information. But if the bodies are not properly documented, preserved, and so on, that poses a lot of limitations.
Okay, yung so ano po yung pinaka findings niyo po doon sa mag-asawa? So yung pagbaril po ay too close, yung pagbaril doon sa nakandak ninyong autopsy?
Again, the details would be in the actual autopsy reports, but I don't think in any of the cases I was able to commit to range of fire or how far or how near the shots were fired at them. The most I could say were how many shots were fired, where, what parts of the body were injured, what could have been fatal.
So you have that in your report? Nandiyan po yun sa report ninyo?
Yes, ma'am. The details are in the reports.
Ma'am, Mr. Chair, may we ask Dr. Fortun to submit the autopsy report po? Can you submit?
Yes, ma'am, I can. I have PDF copies with me, electronic files, but if you want the actual signed copies, they're in my office.
Based po doon sa trajectory or yung direction, sabi niyo po nung bullet, sa dami po ba ng mga wounds, masasabi ba natin na intentional yung pagbaril o hindi?
Actually, all of the individuals I examined, all 9 of them, sustained multiple gunshot wounds, particularly in the chest, in the trunk.
O intentional yung pagpatay?
If you would consider the multiplicity, the number of shots, then that implies intent.
Okay.
And then I also identified injuries in the upper extremities, which in forensic pathology we would call defense type injuries, because that means the individual instinctively tried to
To
defend
cover.
himself or herself.
Okay. Pag intentional po yung pagbarel, pagpatay, so that means, ito po ba ay to the head, to the heart, or some part po ng body?
I understand in my summary all the 9 individuals sustained gunshot wounds to the chest and abdomen, the trunk, where
So,
internal organ are.
Okay. Sa autopsy po ng PNP, no, sa mag-asawang Evangelista, nakasaad po yung cause of death. So, yung cause of death po, sabing ganon, ay, and I quote, gunshot wounds to the body.